Class 5A quarterfinal picks are here. It is time to see who we think will be playing at the Unidome for a state championship. All these games going down Friday night. Again, my name is Cade Nissen, bringing you our rankers picks. These are not my picks. I've got his notes right in front of me, ready to read them to you. We're picking each game. We've got a score prediction too for each one. Super excited. Before we start, I will say, as I'm going game by game, I want you guys to drop a comment, pick your 4 winners. Those who get it right, I'll be sure to give a shout out to next week as we pick the Dome games. But let's get right into it. Where are we now? I did this last week, so I'll give an update. 8 teams remain. Win this game, and you're off to the Unidome. It's as simple as that. We'll get the bracket, I'm sure, this weekend sometime. And our ranker last week, 4-4. Not so great. He's looking to bounce back. Our rankers overall, though, went 41-15 across all classes. So our rankers have done a great job picking games. But let's get right into it. Starting with Pod A, Cedar Falls and Southeast Polk. Really unique matchup here. Cedar Falls getting a second win over Kennedy last week, which is very impressive. That's a really tough team to beat twice. And they now get a date with the #1 team in Class 5A to head to the Unidome. They got a shot, though. That's all that matters. Our ranker says a unique matchup between 2 teams that have not played each other very much. Latest contest was a semifinal matchup in 2018, and Cedar Falls won 26-12. Cedar Falls likes to grind games out on a play physical football, but so does Southeast Polk. Southeast Polk is back-to-back champs, and really, at the end of the day, the line draws there. He does not see Southeast Polk slipping up here. 31-14 is his pick, or 38-14 his pick. Southeast Polk moving on to the Unidome yet again. Moving on to Pod B, Ankeny and Dowling. If my count is correct, Dowling Catholic is 7-2 all-time versus Ankeny in the playoffs. However, Ankeny won the last matchup 31-24 in a thrilling OT semifinal in 2020. This is also a rematch from Week 3, which saw Dowling win 35-14. Ankeny has been playing really good ball lately, though. They've been finding their groove. I've had a ton of fun following them. Connor Kaiser, one of my favorite players in Class 5A to watch. Anderson's a stud. Akers is a stud. I mean, Hawkeyes, I'm sorry if I'm saying that name wrong. He's a stud. He had a great game last week. I saw a Bound post about him. And our ranker says Ankeny has only made improvements as the season has gone on, but Dowling may just be too much. Ankeny was a victim of a quarterfinal upset last season. Can they play spoiler this year? Our ranker says no, 31-10, Dowling. He's got the Maroons moving on to the Unidome. Moving on to Pod C, Centennial and Bendorf. Unique matchup here. I will say, Centennial, I picked them as my Cinderella in Class 5A. So I got Centennial here, and I think my gut's going for them. But let's see what our ranker says. These two have never met before on the football field. Both teams have proven to be very physical. Bettendorf lost their running back in Week 9, but gathered themselves and turned a 42-21 loss into an 11-point victory in the postseason, beating City High on their second try again in the playoffs. Centennial did the exact same thing and turned a 17-7 loss into a dominating 35-7 victory over Northwest. He believes this game will come down to who can move the ball through the air better, and he thinks that's Centennial right now. 24-17, he's going with the Jags to pull an upset on the road over Bettendorf. Moving on to Pod D, Valley and Hawkeyes. Giddy up. These two teams have only met 3 times in the playoffs. 2 of those have been in the quarterfinals. Hawkeyes won in 2014 and Valley won in 2019. Both were physical games. He expects this to be no different. This is also a rematch from Week 4 that saw Hawkeyes win 37-15. It was a 22-15 game in the fourth quarter before Hawkeyes really blew it open. Hawkeyes is looking to get to the semis for their second time ever in the largest class. Valley will be looking for their 3rd trip in a row to the semifinals. I think this one's going to be an ugly one. This is going to be not pretty. It might be cold. It might be, it's going to be a trench war. And our ranker's going 17-13. Hawkeyes, really, really tight, really low scoring. Turnovers are going to be huge. Red zones are going to be huge. Every single play is going to be huge in this one. I think this one's going to come down to the very final drive. I will say, Hawkeyes fans, always on me about showing up to their games. You know what? You can book it. I'll be at Hawkeyes for Hawkeyes Valley. I was there for Roosevelt. Obviously, not super competitive. I left at like halftime, I think. But Valley Hawkeyes, I will be there. That's right in my backyard. So count me in. 5-5 versus 8-2 to punch a ticket to the Unidome. Again, you can count me in. But that is our rankers picks for Class 5A. And if he picked it all correctly, you'd see Southeast Polk Dowling Catholic, Centennial, and Hawkeyes. That would set up a Centennial Southeast Polk matchup and a Dowling Hawkeye matchup in the semifinals. Again, my name is Cadenus, and these are our picks for Class 5A. Be sure to check out the rest of our picks across all classes. Drop a comment what you think. Pick your 4 winners. I'll give you a shout out next week if you pick all 4 of them correctly. Again, I'll be at the Dome all week, all semifinals, all finals. Say hi to me. Say what's up, Kate. I'll bring some IA stickers that you can see right here. I'll hand them out. Love talking to people. Love meeting new people. IA football, IA sports. We're not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I'm having a ton of fun this season, and we're only going to have more fun. So be sure to check out the rest of our videos, guys, and I'll catch you next week for some Dome previews.